For the first time since July 15, 2018, when the Sixers were knocked out of Summer League play in Las Vegas with a loss to the Grizzlies, Zhaire Smith played in a competitive basketball game Friday night. As you'd presume, the rookie displayed plenty of rust in his professional debut as the Delaware Blue Coats fell in Portland, Maine, 124-102 to the Red Claws. Still, Smith, acquired by the Sixers in a draft night trade in exchange for Mikal Bridges and the Miami Heat's unprotected 2021 first-round pick, successfully returned to the court and played 15 healthy minutes. If you're unfamiliar with Smith's story, he was coping with bigger problems than basketball a few months ago. After suffering a Jones fracture in his left foot in August, Smith needed to undergo a thoracoscopy in September following an allergic reaction. Per a team source, Smith had serious medical complications and lost significant weight after consuming sesame, an allergy the Sixers later discovered after conducting a full allergy panel on Smith. See story. It's obviously important to have that unusual start to Smith's professional career in perspective when analyzing his performance on Friday. Here are a few observations from his debut. Smith didn't get a touch on his first couple of trips down the floor. Once he did, off a dribble handoff from Ryan Anderson, he put up a shot, and missed badly. Three-pointer from about 24 feet away at the top of the key looked like it would have been good from 32 feet out, thudding hard off the backboard. He clearly did not want his first attempt to fall short. For the most part, Smith lingered off the ball. One notable exception came early in the second quarter, when he filled the lane well on a fast break and laid it in off a feed from Keenan Evans, a teammate of Smith's at Texas Tech. That was his only basket of the night. He finished with 2 points on 1 for 4 shooting, 3 rebounds and 2 assists. Defense and athleticism will be Smith's calling cards early in his NBA career. He was solid defensively versus the Red Claws, though Maine didn't make much of an effort to attack him. He did have one lax moment late in the second quarter, allowing Archie Goodwin to cut past him on the baseline and draw a foul. There were a couple of moments when you saw Smith make a decent initial read and then either doubt his instincts or not yet possess the natural feel to finish the play. For instance, on one play he pump-faked, drove by his man and then pulled up from about 10 feet away instead of taking the ball all the way to the rim. He hung in the air longer than usual, seemingly less than confident in his decision to shoot, and airballed the jumper. On another play, he made a strong drive from the left wing to the foul line and spotted an open DJ Hogg in the corner. The idea was right, but Smith's execution wasn't the sharpest. His pass was well off target, forcing Hogg to catch it out of bounds. On February 7, General Manager Elton Brand said the Sixers' moves before the trade deadline did not alter his expectation that Smith would play this season. Head coach Brett Brown has said he doesn't think Smith will see the floor for the Sixers this year. Smith's rusty debut doesn't tell us much about when he might join the Sixers, though it's safe to say he needs some more time in Delaware. His first home game will be Monday night at 76ers Fieldhouse in Wilmington, Delaware, where the Blue Coats will play the Fort Wayne Mad Ants at 7 p.m. Click here to download the My Teams app by NBC Sports. Receive comprehensive coverage of your teams and stream the Flyers, Sixers and Phillies games easily on your device. More on the Sixers. The Sixers will enter another marquee matchup Saturday night without Joel Embiid. Embiid is listed as out on the NBA's official injury report for Saturday's game versus the Warriors, meaning he'll miss the Sixers' first 5 games after the All-Star break with left knee tendinitis. The Sixers announced, on Feb. 20, that Embiid would be re-evaluated in approximately a week but have yet to issue an update. The longer Embiid is sidelined, the more scrutiny will be placed on his playing 23 minutes in the All-Star game. Without him, head coach Brett Brown has turned to a number of smaller, unconventional lineups. It hasn't always been pretty, but the Sixers have managed a 3-1 record since the All-Star break, with wins over Miami, New Orleans and Oklahoma City and a loss to Portland. Boban Marjanovic also remains out for the Sixers as a result of the bone bruise and mild strain of the right knee he sustained versus the Pelicans, so you'd expect Jonah Bolden and Amir Johnson will again see major minutes against the Warriors. Justin Patton will also be available as an athletic option off the bench, though Brown didn't use him in Thursday's win over the Thunder. Bolden, who got the start Thursday, was impressive in the Sixers' win on Jan. 31 at Golden State, posting 8 points, 5 rebounds and 2 blocks, and playing excellent defense on DeMarcus Cousins. Click here to download the My Teams app by NBC Sports. Receive comprehensive coverage of your teams and stream the Flyers, Sixers and Phillies games easily on your device. More on the Sixers in this edition of our Eastern Conference Power Rankings. The floundering Celtics fall a spot behind the Sixers. 1 Bucks 47-14, last ranking. 1 Milwaukee has won 6 straight and 12 of its last 13 games, and Giannis Antetokounmpo shot 40% from three-point range in February. There's little doubt they're currently the best team in the conference. 2 Raptors 45-17, last ranking. 2 Like the Bucks, Toronto just doesn't lose very often. The Raptors have won 8 of their last 9 games, including a 23-point victory over the Celtics on Tuesday. The Raptors have averaged just 11.2 turnovers per game during that 9-game stretch. 3 Sixers 40-22, last ranking. 4 Though Joel Embiid's health is a concern, the Sixers should be satisfied with 3-1 mark without the big man since the All-Star break. Sixers fans who weren't too familiar with Tobias Harris are learning just how well-rounded and offensive player he is. Harris is averaging 21.9 points on 55.1% shooting since he arrived in Philadelphia. 4 Celtics 37-25, last ranking. 3 After 4 straight losses, Boston has 20 games left to find a little confidence and stability heading into the postseason. This team is better off figuring things out and being a 5 seed than being an inconsistent mess and earning the 3, writes NBC Sports Boston's Chris Forsberg. 5 Pacers 41-22, last ranking. 5 If you're the Sixers, would you rather play the Pacers or Nets in the playoffs? Brooklyn's guards have torched the Sixers this season, but the well-balanced Pacers shouldn't be overlooked, even without Victor Oladipo. A playoff series against the Pacers would be a grinding, physical challenge. 6 Nets 32-31, last ranking. 6 Spencer Dinwiddie is set to return from his thumb injury Friday night, which is very good news for Brooklyn. The Nets have gone 6-8 without him. 7 Pistons 29-31, last ranking. 9 The Pistons had a nice month of February, going 7-3. They still aren't well equipped to make noise in the playoffs. 8 Hornets 28-33, last ranking. 7 Charlotte has the most drastic home-road disparity in the conference, 20-12 at Spectrum Center and 8-21 away from home. The Hornets have won just 1 of their last 6 games and are in this spot mainly because there's always the threat of Kemba Walker going off for 40 points. 9 Magic 29-34, last ranking. 10 The last NBA game for Markelle Fultz was still on November 19th of last year, but the Magic's fortunes have changed since Fultz's arrival. Orlando is 6-2 since the Fultz trade, including a win over the Warriors on Thursday night. 10 Heat 27-34, last ranking. 8 Speaking of the Warriors, Dwayne Wade's game-winner Wednesday against Golden State was a pretty cool moment. But Miami is now a game behind the Magic for the 8th seed in the East. 11 Wizards 25-36, last ranking. 11 It's just hard to trust Washington to put together a sustained run of good basketball. The team doesn't have a winning streak longer than 3 games this season. 12 Hawks 21-41, last ranking. 12 Remember Trae Young's early season struggles? They're very much a thing of the past. With 36-point performances Monday against Houston and Wednesday versus Minnesota, Young became the first rookie with back-to-back 35-point performances since Allen Iverson in 1997. 13. Bulls 21-41, last ranking, 13. Chicago has played well lately, with the highlight a win over the Celtics on Feb. 23, in which Zach LaVine torched Boston for 42 points. 14. Cavs 15-47, last ranking, 14. In a much-anticipated battle Thursday between the two worst teams in the conference, the Cavs beat the Knicks. 15. Knicks 13-49, last ranking, 15. Mitchell Robinson was a steal for the Knicks at number 36 in the draft. Over his last 10 games, Robinson is averaging an incredible 3.4 blocks in 23.6 minutes per game. Click here to download the My Teams app by NBC Sports. Receive comprehensive coverage of your teams and stream the Flyers, Sixers and Phillies games easily on your device. More on the Sixers.